Here I go again on my own. Da 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 da. Slowly trickling into the stream. Slowly coming in. Ah, LAC, green again. SB. How you doing with the SB? What was I gonna look at? Oh yeah, sound hand. 14 and a quarter today. Oof. La-dee, da-dee-da. La-da-dee, da-da-da. Oil somehow. I have no idea what happened. I have no idea what they tried to do. But this is some frickin' move, I'll tell you that much. Intense. Hey, I see one. Hey man, can you look at applied and TTD, please? No. You didn't even say hello. You didn't even say, I mean, you said hey man, but, you know, you didn't even say hello. You people, like I said, I don't know. Stock's exploding. I'm sitting here with very little capital. Then people just come in like, oh, I'm looking at this. What do you think? Like you know, like I'm your employee. I'm on your like I'm on your hourly payroll here. You're asking me to look at what? Two stocks? That's $50. BZ back above 43. I mean, Trade Desk, honestly, I don't know what happened, but I didn't really look at it. But every time that company reported earnings, I would always say puts because it's one of those stocks that people just blindly kept buying and pumping. So I don't know exactly what they reported, but I saw TTD was down like 40%. And in my opinion, justified. I think it's well overdue. SMCI below 45. SMCI all up in my eye. Yep, we were talking about the pullback here. High 43s, maybe right around 44. We hit 44.60. Looks like we keep slipping. I actually thought, honestly, I truly thought that markets would be red today. We had this random pump yesterday, and like I said, everybody supposedly was very upset with him talking about Powell. Oh, you can't just push Powell out. Oh, I mean, you're going to get rid of the guy because he won't lower rates, blah, blah, blah. Right? And people were speculating like, oh, we're just going to like force him to resign. That's going to be a bad thing. Then we get news he's looking at this other guy to put in there, and it doesn't matter. Stocks always go up. Stocks always go up. And again, we're sitting here with a 10-year up 0.8%, 20-year up 0.7%. I have a green dollar. I see no reason as to why we're just consistently green here. Hey, hello, hello. Happy to have you trickling in here. I think we looked at applied before. Woke up with all the green. Hey, awesome, man. Awesome. Congratulations. Happy for you. I don't understand it or agree with it, but I'm happy for you. Good for you. Good for you. Look at applied all the way up here. Yep. Of course, stock coming out of a reverse stock split. 40 mil, 60, 50 on 60. Now we're back down into the 30s. The hell? I don't know. Like I said, all these stocks are overvalued, man. And people just buy what's trending. Like I said, I did a video on HII Shipbuilding Company. It was essentially a free 30% because we knew that, again, Trump said that he wanted to beef up our Navy here in the States, right? So I mentioned HII. Stock was 215, went up to 293. No one buys it. No one mentions it. No one gives me kudos for it. And then they come in and they ask me about some random trending stock that's, $12 a share. I really don't understand how the average investor thinks. I really don't. And I'm sorry if I'm beating you up, but it just makes me laugh. Again, no one in the Discord bought HII, but they're in here talking about like BS earnings gambles and freaking crypto funds or whatever. Oh, should I put 10K into this? And it's like, you got 10K for this, but you didn't buy HII. And I don't know. It's just sad, honestly. It really is. Yeah, GT, I don't know. I didn't look at it. But yeah, probably bad earnings. Yeah. I mean, obviously that EPS is not good, but I mean, the revenue was almost just in line. We are now down and out of this range. Wow, look at this. Look at this. So, do we come all the way down here? I mean, it really shouldn't. Again, when we first looked at it, it was right around this price. And then we had the nice climb up. Again, we're in the restructuring phase, right? They sold off like 1 or 2 assets, brought in some cash. So, might take a little while, but it's no sense, but shouldn't matter what you buy as long as you make money, right? Yeah, no, listen, like I said, I disagree. But making money is the correct thing at the end of the day. It does matter though, right? Ada, it does matter. Because I'm sitting here putting in hours and weeks and months of my time to bring you the correct symbol. And then no one takes it seriously, everyone misses it, and then they ask me what I think about some trending stock today. So yes, to me it does matter, yes. Because essentially what you're doing is you're wasting my time and you're not taking me seriously. Most new investors playing with their money like a casino, just chasing tickets and not the company. Yep, 100%. 100%. Like I said, we go back to 2012, 2013, when I saw like the resurgence in the PC age and the fact that we were going to have like smart computers and panels in everything. And that's why I said you need to buy NVIDIA. That's a perfect point right there, because now you're seeing people chase stocks like Applied. And meanwhile, years ago, if you just bought the actual company, NVIDIA, well, we know how that turned out. I don't really have any holdings, Ada. I don't have any money. We went over this. I have a handful of shares of SMCI, I think is like all I'm holding in my account. And once again, I missed everything. And like I said, HGRAF going from 10 cents to $1. Everyone else made money. I didn't have one share. I didn't make any money. I should have had a six-figure position at this point after how successful I've been for you people over the last 3-4 years. I should have had a six-figure position with a cost basis of around 10 cents, right? The stock went up to over $1. So I should have made myself $1 million plus on that position. And I was not involved. Yeah, believe it or not, I thought I was going to get taken care of on the back end. The honor system does not work. Like I said, you're trying to press me. Why don't I have a position? Why didn't you buy HII? Why are you in here asking me about applied? Trying to ask me questions. You crazy? Crazy right now? Thoughts on sounds? Phenomenal. It was a phenomenal earnings report. They beat on revenue. Stock's up 25%. The good old Hound of Sound. 28.5% day. On the move. Ba-da-bum, 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 bum, bum. Ba-da-bum, 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 bum, bum. Yeah, somebody was mentioning that there's not shares available, really, to short for sound. Hold on, let me check. Let's see, let's pull up FinViz, let's see. Yeah, according to FinViz, yeah, I'll bring this down. According to FinViz, it's saying we got a short float here of over 33%. So, yeah, wait, let's come back. So if we were to, like, continue here, 1052, well, actually, see, from that high right there to the top of that body, you can see that's exactly where the stock's been stopping. That's exactly where we went today. So this is our resistance level. Sorry for whistling. But it does look like it may pop up and just hit right up to the next level here. Maybe 15, 16 could be incoming. Again, it's hard to call. It's hard to, because I know what should happen, but again, at the same time, markets just continue to keep climbing, which is not realistic. And the last thing I want to do is be like, oh yeah, sounds at 14, it's going to 20. And then all of a sudden markets pull back and the stock pulls back to like 8. Right? Because of course we know nobody really remembers your winners, right? But if I call something like that and everyone gets screwed, everyone's going to jump down my throat. Like the stream, thumbs up. Thank you, thank you. I was gonna pull up something else. What was I looking at? Let's pull up HG. Yep, you can see we were actually technically slightly above the top trend line here of this triangle. We pulled back. I mean, still again on the Canadian, still holding about 1 1/3, and again on here in the States, it's been holding, yeah, like the high 90s. I mean, you know, that's what happens. Chris Stanley the Manly, CXW leaps up 15% today, plus 1K. Good start so far. There you go. So that's beautiful too, because I was having a back and forth with Ada. She was like, they were like, what? It doesn't matter what you buy, blah blah blah. People don't listen, you know. And there you go, right? We were in here, what? We were talking about CXW a day or two ago. There you go. This gentleman's up 15% already. He's got a 4-figure profit. And that's what I mean. People won't listen, and then they'll try to give me attitude. They'll try to debate with me. They come in here, they think I work for them. Oh, I'm watching these 5 stocks. What do you think? They're like, brother, I don't work for you. You are lucky I'm here. And I don't care. I don't care how much of a prick I sound right now. You are lucky I'm here, and that's what I mean. Something like HII, you don't want to take it seriously. I'm early on AMD. Everyone starts flipping out. I tell people, don't sell, buy more, just relax, remain stoic. They don't listen, they're getting emotional. Then the stock goes back up to 180. Oh, I should have bought more. Why did I think it was going to keep going lower? Of course it was going to come back up. It's just the same dumb shit. Constantly. But, yeah. On positive news, Chris, I appreciate the few bucks, brother. Appreciate that. I mean, on an instant 4-figure profit, could have been a few dollars more, but that's okay. No, that's okay. That's okay. How do you see SMCI going? I'm just checking in. Bought in at 34.28. Well, shame on you, because I talk about it every day, and I did a video after earnings came out. Mikey throwing out the $5. I see you, brother. I see you. Appreciate it. Appreciate the support. Those leaps moved 15. It's up that much? Where is it? Oh my god, the 5% rebound. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Right, and you can almost tell it wanted to go higher. Right? We had the big mass pop at the open, and then it just like slowly tightened. Looks like it came down into the wedge going into the close. But the initial reaction was that it wanted to go higher. And I'm telling you, it's because the whole situation's undervalued. People are looking for at least 30, in my opinion. Again, we got price targets here just yesterday. Maintain a buy with a $30 a share price target. Jones Trading. That's what I mean. They're just coming out. We just got the 10Q, strong report, as expected, right? We knew that was going to happen. Look at that, beat by almost 8%, almost 40 mil on the revenue side. And, who was it also? It was Wells Fargo we just looked at with their $35 price target. I mean, work smarter, not harder. And that's what I mean. They won't buy something like CXW. They won't put any faith, any trust in the process. Then they'll come in here talking about some random crypto fund or something. Sorry you missed it. Yeah, you missed it. People don't listen. You gotta listen. Once again, we're still above this line. If we pull back down to this line, we could see 44, potentially high 43s. You're 1.5% away. They're taking Apple higher. Yeah, it's the fakest thing I've ever seen. This is the fakest thing I've ever seen in my life. This stock should be here. This stock should be here. And I'm not just saying it because I bought a put and it went higher. Believe me, I'm not that salty. I've been in this game long enough to know that I'm going to take losses. What bothers me is the fact that, first of all, they've been screwing over practically everybody around the world, selling them their phones, right, that they make for $12 and they sell it for $1,800, right? So that's number one. Now, number two, you're talking about spending $500-600 billion to bring manufacturing back here. So that investment and the logistics alone are probably going to be a freaking nightmare. That should be a negative. The stock should be going down. Third of all, whatever we're up to, third, fourth, I don't, doesn't matter. The last thing they're seeing these immense profit margins because they're making products overseas. And now you're spending 500-600 billion to make them here to make less money. And the stock is up. Since the announcement, the stock is up over, what is that? It's like a 10-12% move. Wild. The stock should have been down 10-12%. It should be here. The stock should be here. And what I think, believe it or not, I think a lot of people like me saw the whole story and said, no, I probably should go down. Right? I mentioned it ran up the other day right up to the trend line on the news, and that's why I was expecting the drop, and then they happened to pop it, right? So they're burning out the traders this weekend, and then mark my words, even Monday, if they spike it up here real quick, it's going to immediately reject and come back down inside this tight apex, and then it's going to drop back down. You mark my words. Clever with the 5. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate that support always. Good old support. Make sure to like the stream. Thumbs up. Thank you, thank you. It's all about the algorithm. Algorithms taking over the world. When in doubt, buy Palantir. Amazing. Just look at this chart. And what makes me laugh is we have other tech companies, again, whether it's hardware or software, we have a lot of other tech companies here in the States, here around the world, that are doing good business. They're seeing like great growth quarter over quarter, freaking revenues jumping up 50, 100% year over year, and none of them are trading at the type of valuation that this stock is trading at. And again, we go to last quarter. Did they beat? Yeah, they beat. They brought in a whopping $1 billion. They brought in $1 billion for the quarter. The market cap is almost $450 billion. Just think about that. So if this company right now is doing roughly $3.5-4 billion a year, we are trading over 100 times annual revenue. That is the current valuation of this stock right now. Never thought I'd see the day. Hey, STS, yeah, it's a good point. It's a good point. Company ran up, just kept climbing. $8 billion, $12 billion, $20 billion market cap, just keeps climbing, keeps climbing. They haven't done anything yet. Haven't made a dollar, but keeps climbing. This is why, again, I know people give me crap, and a lot of young traders and investors are buying all these space stocks and trending stocks, and like we said, we've been in a bull market for years, right? Think about it. The shit technically hit the fan 5 years ago. Everything got locked down. We had a massive issue globally. And then somehow we're just miraculously coming out of that bigger, stronger, faster than ever. This is all some of these people know, is moves like this. And I'll say it till I'm blue in the face. I don't care if I'm wrong for the next year, 2 years straight before markets tank and collapse and come back to reality. I don't care. I'm going to say it every single day because I studied economics, Series 7, managed millions, watch stocks, track stocks, analyze stocks, the markets, watching what foreign currencies are doing, checking stimulus coming out of China, watching yields, oil prices, strength of the dollar, the weakness in the bond market that we mentioned. I am trying to stay on top of everything because I understand how to interpret it. And I'm telling you right now, this cannot be sustained. and I don't know what they're trying to do. Neo Quant with the 5. Love you, brother. Appreciate that support. Appreciate it. Curious how much Series 7 makes. It's all commissions. Well, every firm is different. Every firm is different. I was at a smaller firm, and yeah, it was 100% commission, no base salary. But, you know, of course, they suck you in, and I knew I can do it. I knew I can do it. And you guys are seeing now, the analytical part is the easy part for me, because that's just how my mind works, you know? Some people, you know, are like, you know, born natural salesmen and whatnot. So some people are better at selling and, you know, opening new accounts as opposed to building a rapport, getting that client to second trade, third trade. You know, we open the account with 5-10 grand. Are you able to build up the account to 100,000, 200,000? You know what I mean? Does this person trust you enough to actually give you some capital to work with? But if I was at like JP Morgan, then at the time, I mean, I don't know what they start brokers at, but yeah, I don't know what, 60, 70, 80,000. And then, yeah, there's probably like bonuses and probably like commission quotas and stuff that I would have to hit, you know, by the end of the year. And then if I did, like, you know, that's how they make whatever, like 110 grand or something, you know, as a broker at one of the bigger firms. So it depends what firm you're at and how they do it. But yes, unfortunately, I was at a firm that was 100% commission. So all those years I was trying to open new accounts and gain clients, build a clientele, and manage the assets. I was not on salary. So, you know, and I don't really spend a lot of money. I'm a simple man. So if all those years I was making income, you know, I probably would have like a 6-figure portfolio still, even if I lost some money. But unfortunately, I chose a incorrect path. SMCI is still crashing. Yep. Yep. Well, I'm assuming money's moving out of there and buying Apple and Palantir, apparently. Afternoon, Southern Sky. Afternoon. Happy to have you. Happy Friday. Bought at 51, getting slaughtered. Meh. Not down that much. They pull it back to 17 like they did last time, then you can get upset. Didn't mean to block you yesterday, meant to meet someone else. All right. Apologies in the chat. Looks like we are staying up and going back up. Stocks only go up. We know this. We know this. But again, I always like to look at fundamentally strong stocks because, as I said, even if they dip, they're the quickest ones to come back up, right? So perfect example, even something like PM. If you recall, this stock was up to like 180. It went into earnings. I believe they slightly missed revenue or something. They chunked it down to like 160. But you can see, right? We've been watching it all week for the last week, 2 weeks. And you can see slowly 50 cents, $1 a day, $1.10 a day, slowly inching back up. Boom, now it's back up to 170. So that's again why I say look for the companies that are, you know, doing well fundamentally. Try to find companies that have that, but also aren't insanely overinflated in the market cap. And, you know, then just pick your spots. Then just pick your spots. I know, like, in theory, in words, you know, like, oh yeah, you know, easier said than done. Like, I understand your argument, but also at the same time, I mean, it really is not that difficult. M-Bot's looking solid. But Bot. Finally figured out what those kids were singing about. They were singing about bot. Bot. Yeah, and we can see, look, we almost, let me just extend that line, because if I extend it manually, I'll mess it up. Oh, almost. Almost. looking like, yeah, maybe like 308, and we hit 304. But, I mean, if markets continue to pump and stay up, then, yeah, that's not accurate. It's like there. But, if markets continue to stay up and we just keep climbing, then, yeah, I mean, MBOT will probably get back to above 3. I don't see why not. Somebody's messaging me while I'm live. I can't believe they messed with this stock so much. What's that low? 3014. So if we come up here, right? So that's like there. And he's asking me, got puts, double down, or bail out. Double down or bail out. That's a good question. 44.55. It's close enough. Did we gap up technically? High 43.03, low 43.03. God, the market's gotta pull back. Threw out my opinion, and I will either be right or wrong. Yeah, approval soon. Yeah, what we're talking about, the MBOT. The MBOT. Could be climbing it going into these earnings here. Obviously, we're just expecting a inline or more narrow loss. Hey, what's going on out there? But I mean, it still looks like, right, we had the pop, and it looks like we're still stepping up and up and up. So until that trend really breaks, it's still looking good. Market cap 100 mil, right? That's nothing. And yeah, I believe we were kind of hoping, I think some people were saying maybe like September, October for non-dilutive grant to enhance operational capabilities. We recently got on the Russell Microcap Index. Hopefully, we do get some nice news on MBOT, and hopefully we do hear about the FDA approval. I don't know exactly when it's coming, but I believe they said like second half 25. That's why I think everyone piled in going into 25. Sure it will, considering that September are usually the low periods for the market. Yeah, see, I don't want to hear that because people were saying August is a weak month. And we just keep climbing. It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit, bro. like I said, this is going to continue until the blindside bullshit happens. Just like in 2000, just like in 2004, just like in 2008. It's all the same shit. Clever Name says Q3 supposedly for MBOT. Thank you very much. We appreciate that for the update. Like I said, I look at so many stocks and like, you know, I read all their timelines that they kind of just start to like blend together. But yeah, I remember, yeah, it was sometime second half 25. And as Clever Name just said, supposedly expecting that Q3, which is like now, right? So inside of the next like month or so, maybe we get a big announcement, which again will really catapult the stock. I mean, if you go back here again, look how much we've trended downward because it took them so many years, right, to actually bring this to market and make it a reality. And now you can see it actually worked out perfectly, because I think even when I first found it and was looking at it, I was saying that we could go below $1 and you always have the risk of the reverse stock split, right? But we brought it down, consolidated, and now boom, we're in the crosshairs now. We're in the spotlight, right? And as we're looking at it, the stock's above 3 now. So if we get that positive announcement, believe it or not, we should technically, this is what I'm saying. Like, I'm trying to be conservative, right? But in my opinion, this is where the stock goes on news of FDA approval. Now, I don't think it's going to happen instantaneously, but technically, this is where the stock should go. So, hopefully we get that news soon, and everybody is well positioned. Stocks only go up. Again, people were upset when Trump was talking about Powell, right? Oh, you can't get rid of Powell. Oh, the guy, he's not doing what you want, so you're just going to fire him, blah, blah, blah. And then what? He's like, oh, I narrowed down the list, right? I'm going to put this freaking guy in there. We're going to get that guy out of there. And it doesn't matter. Stocks go up. Doesn't matter. VIX down 5%. I'd actually think it should be down more than that. Yeah, we've been seeing some interesting swings, though. Again, DraftKings was initially up after earnings. And then we dropped, we curled with the market, and now we're dropping today. And I thought personally a name like this should be up, but it's down right now. AMD barely down. Still above trend line. LAC with a nice little bounce right there off of that trend line. Right? We dropped down to like 2.5. I was saying, just speaking to myself out loud, but I was saying, yeah, around 2.5. Like, you know, this is probably a buy here. You could see a bounce coming. Stock's up about 15% from those lows. SB, look at that. Dropped it initially, and then we're up. Why? Because men lie, women lie, numbers do not lie. Fubo also, we had, again, prelim numbers were above expectations. We pumped the stock to above 4. Then we brought it all the way back down to about 3.5, as you see, 351. Opened flat and actually went red, but it really just retested the trend line, and then you can see it bounced, and it's been raging ever since. So that was more like a technical reset, but Fubo, with a good quarter again, they were talking about some potential softening taking place with the subscriber numbers, and we happened to come in above estimates on the subscriber numbers. We beat revenue estimates, as you see, by about 3.5%. Slightly more narrow than expected loss. And it's funny, right? I was just saying the other day that I've been watching Under Armour for like 3 years, and the stock just stays between 6 and 7, right? And now today it's down 20%. It's down 5. It's funny. You gotta laugh. You gotta laugh about it. I really thought we'd be down 300 points on the Dow. On the NASDAQ too, honestly. Really across the board. Got Rolls-Royce. Ricey still staying up. Holding about 14.5. Rocket Lab up a few percent. Ion Q up 3.5%. Dollar General almost at 116. Right? That's another one, right? Dollar General. That was one I did a video on. I was talking about their growing fundamentals, the growing revenue, how many stores they keep opening, quarter over quarter, year over year. Stock was down at like 70, 80 bucks. And I said, in my opinion, that's a buy. Scoop up those shares. Brand name, beaten up stock, right? Buffett method. And in no time, it'll come back. Stock's back up to 116 already. Look at that. Literally after these earnings, when they dropped it into the 80s, I was like, this is an overreaction. I'd start taking a position. People asking me the whole time down here too, oh, DG is down, it's in the 70s. What do you think? I say, hey man, the growth is there, the revenue is there, the rebound is coming in my opinion. I'd be taking a position. It's going to come back, right? So you buy some at 83, you buy some at 73, now you got a cost basis of 78, stocks back up 118. Right? And they pay you a dividend. Right? So if you started here, what is this? X date was October 8th. So I actually did the video a week before the X dividend date. So even if you bought when I said, you would have collected 1, 2, 3, 4 dividends so far. And your principal investment would be up, what, 35, 40%? Right? And that's what I mean. I will constantly mention a name like that. People won't listen. And then, you need my expertise to try to justify some crackhead stock that you're looking at. Blows my mind. Magatron, what's up, chump? What's up, chump? Happy Friday, happy Friday. It's a football party. We said this. We said the football party. We got the prelim numbers. Tightening came right down. Boom. Popping right back up. Hopefully we can get above all these trend lines here and keep climbing throughout the day. Right? And all those people, what? When it was at like 350, 360, right? Scooping up shares. Some selling the news, but still bullish long term on it. Yeah, well, like I said, in the immediate short term, they were beating up Fubo supposedly because of their individual numbers, with that whole prospect of the Hulu merger coming through, right? So like, it's an interesting situation because like, Wall Street knows it's worth more, but in the moment, if the numbers are light, we can keep it down. We don't have to explode it. So that's how they're really looking at it. But again, this top trend line here, if we were to extend that out, and if we pop up there, hopefully when we finalize this whole merger, then you may see like $7.5, $8. Again, I'm just taking it as I'm seeing it. I'm not trying to get anyone's hopes up. We also spoke about this potential ascending triangle forming as well. And you can see we broke out prematurely, pulled back, came right to the top of the line, right? So we can potentially even tighten, believe it or not, for a couple of weeks. And you can see also this would be the end of August. People were saying like the end of August, September is when we may hear the news, right? So we can potentially even tighten here. And of course, everyone's going to say, what's going on with Fubo? How come it's not at 6 yet? And then boom! So that could potentially be coming. So put that in your pipe and smoke it, eh? Shout out. Where's all my Canadians, eh? September 30th is the vote for the merger. Oh, that was actually beyond the apex of the triangle I was just looking at, so I may not know what I'm talking about. Oh. Thank you for the voting date, though. We appreciate that. Oh, I'm not worried at all. Believe me, I'm not worried at all. Like I said, looking at stocks like DG up 40% from when I said buy it, I'm not worried at all, bro. Like I always say, shit's easy. Shit is easy. Look at PayPal back down here in the 60s for some reason. For some reason. Literally. For some reason. Makes me laugh. Again, started talking about it like over here, I want to say like in the 80s as they were bringing it down. And same thing with DG. I was saying fundamentals are strong. They keep growing. There's a massive overreaction. They destroyed this stock. Tried to bring it back up. Hit like 93. Almost made it back to 100. And then you can see, look, breaking it back into the 50s. Bringing it back down to key levels. Key support levels. In my opinion, PayPal's a buy. But again, if they're gonna keep it flat, you know, like specifically tying it to like Fed rates, then you may not really see any massive rage until rate cuts come. Supposedly, mutual funds are putting money in Palantir, Nvidia, Microsoft, Broadcom, HGRAF, yeah, Raytheon, of course. Interactive Broker, really? That's why Palantir is rising so much. If you say so. Mutual funds buy everything. There's mutual funds buying PayPal right now. How come it's not trading 100 times annual revenue? Right? Let's look at their annual revenue. Market cap 64 billion. Last year we brought in almost 32, profited 4, right? So 36 billion total technically in the black. Market cap 60 billion. So if we were trading 100 times revenue like Palantir was, PayPal would be a $3 trillion market cap right now. Everyone will continue to buy the big tech names. This is old news. Old news. Look, volume below average. Volume below daily average. Look at the volume. Look at how the volume's been trickling down over the last 12 months. Come on, huh? What are you telling me? What are you telling me? Hood is up because there's a spot open for the S&P 500 this week. Woo! So why not give it to a company with trash fundamentals that's massively overvalued? Look at this. 114. Stock should be 14. Stock should be 14. $102 billion. So this company, right, has almost doubled the market cap of PayPal, bringing in $989 million last quarter. PayPal brought in $31.8 billion in revenue last quarter. But, you know, because kids have Robinhood accounts, and this is where they like to buy crypto, for some reason, this company now has a $102 billion market cap. That's what I mean. That's why I always say with these stocks, man, there's a reason why I'm right 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 times. Number one is because I'm just that damn good. But number two, there is a way to do this. And like I said, right now, we can shut off the internet. If all of these traders couldn't get onto X or StockTwits or Reddit and pump each other up, I am telling you right now, about 98, 99% of those accounts would take massive hits. Massive hits. And you can literally unplug my computer, bring me back to the exchange, and have the ticket tape flowing through my fingers, and I can still have a success rate of 80 to 90%. That's why, like I said, something like Hood that isn't real, they fucking pumped it 1,000%, whatever, let the kids keep it, whatever. Same thing like Palantir, whatever. But I'm telling you right now, if you buy into something like this at 115, 120, 180 Palantir, and we drop back down to a 20K Dow, I don't want to hear it. You were fairly warned. I read about those supposedly the top ones. Yeah, I get it. I get it. Believe me, I understand what you're saying. I know you're not wrong, right? All these companies are tech. They're growing. They're seeing demand. We're approaching the AI wave. So all these mutual funds are taking positions in, like you said, Broadcom, Nvidia. It really doesn't matter, right? We were talking about this the other day. I really don't even think it freaking matters. You could probably buy, again, IBM, even SMCI here as it's dropping. Like, it doesn't matter. I'm sure over the next 1, 2, 3 years, they're probably all going to be more than fine. And as much as people were beating up SMCI, oh, it's not as solid as some other stocks, right? They're not seeing the earnings, they're not as good. And then what? We had initial fiscal year revenue pegged at around 30 billion. And they just said, we're going to bring in at least 33 billion. So that's what I mean. That's why when if we're looking for long-term growth, I'm telling you right now, people with money, they don't care about the short term. There were people who were piling into SMCI at $60, $70, $80. And now with it dropping here in the short term, they're it's on the clearance rack. They're piling in, they're grabbing shares here in the 40s, the 50s, bringing that cost basis down, accumulating shares, building the position. Webull is at 15, which makes way more sense than Hood at 140. Okay, it's not really how it works. It's McDonald's Happy Meal of brokers compared to Webull. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, even when we looked at Coin, I remember like a year or two ago. Like, it's a freaking digital exchange. You're making money off everyone else that's buying and selling, but somehow your revenue isn't increasing. Somehow your margins are dropping. Somehow you're operating at a loss, right? Like these companies make no financial sense, and they're being rewarded. So, clever name, real quick. The misconception there, a lot of people do that. A lot of people say, oh, look at, Verizon, it's at 43. Look at PM, it's at 170. Verizon's undervalued, right? PM's worth 4 times as much. No. The market cap formula is the price per share times the share amount. That's how you get the market cap. It's the shares times the share amount is the market capitalization. And that's why, again, something like Robinhood is $100 a share, and something like Chipotle, right, that never split and just kept climbing, it's up to $3,000 a share. So you have to look at how many shares, and you have to look at the market cap. You can't just look at share price and see that one is lower than the other. So, this is a buy, that's a sell. That's not how it works at all. And again, I'm not trying to jump down your throat, but I have a lot of people say that to me. I have a lot of people say, oh, Apple's at 220, Campbell's is at 30. Why is it 7 times as much? No, it's not, right? It's the market cap. You have to look at how many shares are outstanding. You have to look at the value of the overall company. You can't just look at share price. And again, remember, these stocks go through, 10 for 1, 20 for 1 stock splits, 1 for 50 reverse stock splits, right? So the share price, obviously it's important, but it's not the real value of the business. Well, Palantir at 100 for the long haul. Hey, listen, awesome. Again, I might disagree with it, but you're up huge. So, we like we always say, we take what the market gives us. So if it keeps giving you a pump, then take it. Appreciate the info. Yeah, no problem, no problem. Again, we gotta make sure everyone understands, and that's why, again, even as I try to teach you guys about the market, or I talk about, again, like I'll mention like the beta and explain what that is. Like even when we speak to each other in chat and in Discord, I feel you're better off if you actually start learning some of this terminology and really understanding how this works. Because, of course, that's really only going to help you in the long run, right? Like they say, knowledge is power. Sure, the more you know about the market, I don't think it's really going to hurt you. But the number bigger. Yeah, I know. And it is funny because there are a lot of people who, again, they don't look up what is a market cap, right? What is a PE? What's EPS mean? How do you find the EPS? People don't dive into that. And they just look like, oh yeah, Hood's 115, but look, it was 16, so it's raging, so oh yeah, we're going to 200, like, and amazingly, some people are able to make money like that, which is wild, but technically, it's really not how you should be looking at it. Because again, we've proven it, even something like Fubo, right? Like we looked, it's kind of been hanging out between like 3 and 4 for like who knows how many months. And something like HII, perfect example. Stock was 200 a share. So you may have looked at it saying, wow, it's like 70 times as big as Fubo, I should buy Fubo. And what happened, right? Fubo just kind of hung out, and HII is up 35% or whatever it is, 35%. So that's why I look at the business. That's why I'm here to learn. Fantastic. Fantastic. Then I'm happy to have you then. I'm happy to have you. Oh, I'm telling him, Slick. I'm telling him. Minute by minute, day by day, I'm telling him. Because right now, again, remember, post pandemic lockdown and all this, nothing but a bull market for years in a row, not mattering where we go or what the GDP numbers are, right? None of that mattered for the last several years. It's just, unemployment's down, all right, market's up. Oh, we wanted you to cut rates. You didn't? All right, it doesn't matter. Market's up. You know what I mean? We've been dealing with that for years now. Years. So I'm telling you right now, if something big seriously happens, whether it's something with our banking system or something, if and when, because it's inevitable, because these people can't help themselves. So if and when they overextend themselves again and we have another big crash, I am telling you right now, in that moment, as it's dropping and as it hits the bottom, mark my words here today, as the markets are tanking and as it hits that bottom, it will 100% be solely about fundamentals. That's why I speak the way I do. Because number one, I'm right, regardless of what this market tries to show me or tell us. I don't care. I'm right. And again, it's not because I'm Italian and I'm stubborn. It's because I know what I know. I know I'm right. Okay? But we'll put that to the side. More importantly, as markets correct, come back down to reality, and everything tanks, what did I tell you? The stocks with the strongest balance sheets, the growing fundamentals, those are going to be the stocks that are bought first. Those are going to be the stocks that hold up the best. Those are going to be the stocks that rebound the fastest. So again, I may be early. We might continue freaking raging in this market for the next 2 years. The Dow might go to 75,000. I have no idea what's going to happen. But I'm telling you right now, it will happen. What I'm speaking about will happen. And even if it takes that long to finally get to that moment, in that moment, everything that I'm basically been telling you for years is all going to come to a head. And it's going to be the perfect storm where if you paid attention and now you really know what you're doing because you spoke to someone who actually knows what they're doing, you are going to do phenomenally well as everyone else is pulling their hair out and giving themselves high blood pressure. I'm telling you right now. Just sold Apple. Yeah, where is it now? 250? Oh, there you go. 230. Still going. 231. Screw it. Why not? What do you think? 400? 500? What do you think? It makes me laugh. This is the only company who will make, in my opinion, like an inferior laptop with the MacBook Air. They put a freaking Apple logo on it. They charge an extra $1,000 because they make it. And people buy it. That's what blows my mind. People buy it. I'm not even upset at them at making it. People buy it. I was just watching a Buffett video. Oh, got an angry customer outside. Was just watching a Buffett video where he was saying that 3 good companies will make you more money than 100 bad or so-so ones. Yeah, absolutely. Seems like you're echoing that sentiment. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yep, absolutely. People, I think that is a very good point as well. You should try to consolidate your focus in your account. You should not have an account, like if you have like a $50,000 account, you should not have, hypothetically, right? You should not have 50 $1,000 positions, right? That's not, but also at the same time, you shouldn't have 3 $17,000 positions. So you have to find that happy medium, and that's why, again, we look at small, up-and-coming growing stocks. We look at large cap companies that can pay you some dividends, right? You got some spec plays. I talk about like silver as a hedge play, right? There are multiple positions you're supposed to take, but also at the same time, you can't spread yourself out too thin. And that's basically a perfect example right there. You know, if you had 3 decent stocks and 2 are up and 1 is down, then overall, you're up a decent chunk. And if you had 100 positions, and obviously the more you buy, the more you lose, right? You're chipping away at your success rate. So if you buy 100, 50 are down, 50 are up, it might be a wash, or you might even be red. So that's why also when people, you know, if they constantly have money like flowing into their account, or if they always have cash on hand, and you like just mention something in passing in the Discord, and it's like, oh yeah, I'll buy a couple of calls for earnings. Oh yeah, screw it, I'll roll the dice on some shares. Like, that is hands down one of the worst mentalities and strategies to have. Because you have no conviction, right? There's no conviction there. And like the saying goes, you get out what you put in, right? So if you glance at something for 30 seconds, roll the dice on a bunch of calls, and then the stock tanks, and they're down 98%, well, you got out what you put in. Right? I would always listen to when Trump was speaking, going into elections, coming out of elections. I even didn't do my Trump video right away. Within 3 days of Trump winning the election, you saw 10,000 Trump stock videos. Am I right or am I correct? And I waited until like January. Because number one, I think that's what you're supposed to do. And number two, we didn't have a full picture yet. And then that's what I mean. You look where no one's looking, right? You try to find the under the radar play. Everyone's focusing on Nvidia and Palantir. And of all the things that Trump said, what did my ear listen? What did my mind catch? The shipbuilding, the Navy. And that's what I mean. 35% gain, pretty much. Stress-free, right? If I had someone else's money, I could have taken 6 figures, 7 figures. I could have parked it in HII and literally never looked at it. And just came back weeks later. I bought it at 215. How's it doing? Oh, it's at 252? Yeah, I knew that was going to happen. All right, I'll keep holding it for a little bit. Stress-free, easy money, working smarter, not harder. I'm telling you right now, shit's easy. Shit's easy. I've definitely had that devil on my shoulder. Glad I don't listen. Yeah, I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. You kidding? Between you and who? Suzanne there, right? You guys are together. But like I said, between the two of yous, I frickin' retired the two of yous. So that's what I mean. Like, I technically out here changing lives. If people don't take advantage of it, it's up to you. That's not on me. And yeah, I don't know. I should be listened to a little bit more frequently from my community. Just came to say thank you for the things you've done for the community. Anytime. Anytime. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Always appreciate appreciation. Oh my goodness, look at Apple. Taking over the world as they're writing a check for $600 billion, apparently. Somehow this makes sense somewhere. Only if you own Apple does this make sense. Oil with the whipsaw action. Look at this. The hell was that? It's bullshit. I'll tell you what it is. Oh my goodness. Closing out the week, 4.5% higher. All right. All right. Gold futures hit all-time high. I'm telling you. As they were climbing, hitting highs, right? I said, gold and silver. They're going to keep going. Because the value of the dollar is currently uncertain, in my opinion. Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I'm glad I'm listening to. Honestly, I'll say so many things. And as you guys know, I don't write a script or anything like everyone else does. I'm not reading off a set third or second screen. I'm just going. And there are some times where like I'll mention a play or I'll look at something and I'll say, yeah, like if it were me, I'd do this. And then as AM said, like there are people who do randomly listen. And I will just randomly get a message like, oh yeah, you said this the other day. Listen, great call. I'm up big, thanks a lot. So I know some of you are out there. What breaks my heart is that like 90% of you should kind of understand, what I'm bringing to the table here by now. But again, unfortunately, some people, they're new. They started investing just a couple of years ago. And as I said, these markets, this is all they know, right? This is all they know. So if you come out now and you're, singing a different tune, talking about playing a different game, they can't accept it. Because their mind, they haven't even been through something like that yet. You know what I mean? So me talking about the Dow coming down to 20K, be careful, right? Look at valuations. That lesson will be learned after it happens, unfortunately. And it does bother me, and it really sucks because I know that, everyone needs money and most people are struggling, and, I'm out here trying to help people, and, like you got to help yourself to get help from me, and people don't always help themselves. It's frustrating. It's frustrating. Like I tell you the story about the guy who came in and, yeah, I don't know, he came in, he had like right around 50K in his account, and he was doing like 100% options. And we got him up to like 80 something K within like a month or two. The guy thought I was like God's gift. Then he's going all in on like just a few option plays that I was mentioning. And then he messages me and he's like, oh yeah, I own like, yeah, these puts and like, calls on these two. And he's showing me that there's like 5 figures in each one of these. And I'm like, why'd you put all this in here? You know, how much cash do you have? Oh yeah, I don't have any cash left. And that's what I mean, right? That's what I mean. Who told you to go all in 100% options in 3 positions with all the money that technically I just made you? Right? Think about this scenario, seriously. And for the record, at that time, markets were like climbing, but I think I was saying like puts on the Dow, and I may have mentioned something else, you know, maybe like calls on DraftKings or something at the time. And yeah, he piled in that entire like 80, 90K account into like 3 options positions, and I believe none of them worked out. And all of a sudden, I get a message like, "Oh yeah, I'm done. You know, I got like a couple of $100 in my account." And I even tried to do the right thing. I mean, listen, I was very flattered that he put that much faith in me, you know. But as we know, with options trading, we can instantly become incorrect, which is probably why a lot of traders, as soon as they put in an option trade, they're like putting in a stop loss for like 10, 20%, right? Because they know we can reverse immediately and we can be wrong. So let's not lose anything, or let's not lose everything, excuse me. And again, I tried to do the right thing. As soon as he sent me the pictures and stuff and he was showing me the positions, I said, hey man, I said, that's way too much in options. I said, you're going way too heavy. You should start to scale back. You know, we took you from what, 50 to 80K. So we grew your account 60% in like 30 days. And now you're all in, like, you know, I was trying to explain to him, like, you should scale back. Like a big chunk of this money should be in shares. It should be in cash, right? You should start buying shares of stock. You should not keep risking on options. And like I said, it's unfortunate because, like, now, for all I know, he thinks I'm a schmuck. You know, if anyone asks him about me, or if he sees one of my videos pop up or something, you know, he's gonna, who knows, talk some shit. He's gonna think negatively about it, or he's gonna tell his friend or his family, nah, screw that guy. That guy screwed me over. He lost me 75 grand. Don't listen to that guy, right? So it's my fault, even though, again, the strategy wasn't double checked with me, right? I didn't get a message like, yo, we went from 50 to 80K. I have all this cash. What should I do with it? Right? None of it. None of it. And I always say, right? I'm here all the time. I'm always sitting here. You guys reach out. You message me. I usually respond right back, right? I've been here for everybody for years. For years. So if you're in a situation like that, again, I don't want to mention anyone's name, but we know there's someone in Discord who put his whole account into 2 healthcare stocks, and of course the sector is down. So this person's just sitting there in the red, just waiting. And those are not the rules of investing. So if you don't follow the rules, you're probably going to lose the game. And you have no one to blame but yourself. Being able to sift through the bullshit. Yeah, no, it's true. It really is true, man. I don't know if this is going to make you happy, but I made profits, and the profits helped me a lot in covering my marriage expense. That's fantastic. Fantastic. Congratulations. Congratulations. God bless. Using in good health. I'm glad I can help. I'm glad you're in a better position than you were when we first met. It's okay to dabble in options, but most people shouldn't play them. Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, it's true. Because the average person is very emotional, right? And, you know, you buy an option, and let's just say you buy a call and it spikes up. Holy crap, I'm up 100%. right? Automatically, people start thinking, well, wait a minute. If it was just like a couple of minutes and I doubled my money, if I wait a couple of more minutes, I could triple my money. And you know what I mean? So then we start looking for more. Or even if it starts to head in the opposite direction, all of a sudden the stocks, the options down 40%, 50%. Some people might get emotional. They might sell right there, take the loss. Then what happens? Then the stock bounces, right? And they took a loss when they shouldn't have. Or it starts heading in the opposite direction and they just refuse to sell, and they just go down with the ship. I mean, there are so many bad habits. And that's what I'm trying to keep people away from. Thank you. You technically helped me get married. Okay. That's awesome. That is awesome. I appreciate that. See, that is a phenomenal testimonial. That is outstanding right there. Very, very glad I can help. Very glad it's working out. And of course, very happy to hear about your new venture into marriage. We wish you nothing but the best. You're looking at a dollar that is staying down. It looks, I mean, we're still green, but we're going down. Bitcoin with an instant V recovery here. Just over about the last, like 2.5 hours. Just reversed, got right back to this trend line. Which trend line is this? Yeah, so we're testing. We're knocking on the door again of this top trend line here, potentially. So we'll see what happens. Do you enjoy the success stories? Oh, of course I do. Of course I do. I mean, I also enjoy money, but I don't have any. So the story is what keeps me going. You're outstanding, bro. Thank you again. Don't worry about it, man. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Thank you for letting me know and not keeping it to yourself, right? A lot of people do that in here. A lot of people will actually take something I say and then, they'll make themselves like, $3,000, $5,000, and they just like won't mention it because obviously, right? They don't want to pay the piper. And it's just, not only is it disgusting, but it's honestly embarrassing, honestly. I mean, if someone is helping you to make said profit, right, you would think, let me do the right thing, so we're on to bigger and better things. But what are you going to do? DraftKings dropping. We are, down here is a 1-year chart, reapproaching this fib here, 43.12. Looks like a key level to hold. We dipped below 43 and had a little bit of a bounce. I mean, we could potentially tighten and break, but I mean, they did just report earnings, and they did report some pretty decent numbers. So this may be a situation where even if they do beat it up, it should kind of come right back up, right? You can see even, oh, blow it out, your ace. You can see even here, right? We spiked up beginning of the year. Market started to pull back. They beat it up down to 30. Boom, bounced right back, right? Came right back to 40 plus. And again, that's basic. I mean, technically, a lot of stocks did this again because the market's fake, in my opinion. But DraftKings, in theory, should have done this because of the fundamentals. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome. Nothing but love. We have nothing but love in here. How's our sound hound doing? Yep. Yep. Yeah, looks like we're kind of tightening. slowly making higher lows, right? We might get to like here and then maybe burp, unless markets reverse, but see what happens. Yields still up. Yields are still up. They've barely moved. Dollar is still green. Hardest thing is to have the conviction on the naysayers. Getting a lot of those with HGRAF. I think it could be one of the greatest calls of all time. I agree. It already is one of the greatest calls of all time because technically the company didn't do anything yet and the stock moved over 1,000%. So you're welcome. Anyone who is, quote, a naysayer is the same shit just like you dealt with SoundHound, right? Nobody looks at fundamentals, then they missed the SoundHound pump when we were talking about it for months, then they want to try to tell me the market cap and the PE is too high, right? This is what I mean. This is why, I'll tell you right now, all of these people, the entire investing community is lucky that we're not in a place where we're at like one giant land center and we're all sitting next to each other. Because any time I would hear something that stupid, that person should have to stand up and get slapped. I'll say it. I'll go on record and say it. Sometimes you got to slap some sense back into people. I'm sitting here telling you the PE on Palantir is freaking 900. You don't think that's overextended? You tell me no. And then you miss out on the SoundHound pump and you're telling me, oh, the PE is 78. It should come back down or whatever the hell. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? A lot of people trying to poke holes in the company. There's always risk, but it's insane. Yeah, no, the potential's there. The potential's there. And like we say, you got to risk it to get the biscuit. And it's volatile. It's an OTC. Anything can happen. But, I don't know. It seems like it wants to go up. By the way, I'm in red in RMTI. I have like 2,000 shares at 1.5. RMTI, yeah, it bounced right back to 1.5 recently. Yeah, this stock was doing fine. Even right here, I think I did the update, right? Because they got the order or something, and I was saying even like 120, maybe even 140, 150 should be a layup. The stock hit 142, and you can see, look, we channeled back down, retraced to the fib, and now we're bouncing, but technically we keep beating on revenue, right? The revenue is there, and I know the share count is slowly increasing, so that's why they may have dropped it on fears of dilution. But again, the revenue is still there, and we got the news of the renewal on the contract. So this is, in my opinion, going to do like one of these. And it's going to come back up there. It's got to get back up to that trend line. It really should be back to that trend line, which, again, even straight up from here would yield you about 10 or 12%. So hopefully you can at least get back there. And yeah, you know, if this made you nervous, then I can understand if you get out there. But yeah, hang on, because technically it was looking good. And we have earnings coming up next Thursday. Looking for 16.33 million. And we have a very low market cap. And you can see, though, over the years, right, we're climbing up. We got above 100 mil in revenue for 24. Even though we have been seeing some slipping. But again, we've seen pullbacks and estimates, and as long as they, for the most part, come in above estimates, then it's okay. RMTI, I do still like. I do still like it. Again, this is I don't know. It's like a portable. I don't know. Some sort of portable dialysis machine or something. Yeah, of course, man. Anytime. Anytime. But yeah, if it were me, I'd hang out, right? We came down here, and you can see we're making like the higher low, right? We spiked up here, so if we follow the trend, we should come like here, right? Which would be basically back to what you paid for it. So that's why I'm saying, again, it should kind of go higher. And honestly, it might climb again if it, you know, if it's making you nervous. it might climb here next week going into earnings. And you might be able to get back up to like here and just take like a tiny loss and move on to something else if you want. Or you could just, again, hold on for the long haul. But, yeah, we did get that news. Yeah, that was here. First week of July. Innovative Renal Care announced 3-year partnership agreement. That came in. They beat the stock up to sub $1, and they instantly spiked it back up to above $1. So I do think it's all right. I think we'll be all right. I need more coffee though. Talk amongst yourselves. All right, back in action. Am I unmuted here? Muted here? Oh yeah, I'm unmuted. Oh yeah. The fakest market in the world. I thought it was bad a couple of years ago. Apparently we ain't seen nothing yet. It's real if you sell, yeah. True. True. I mean, I guess if I had a portfolio up massive with this market, I'd think it's real too, so I understand. I just don't understand how everybody was like against him taking Powell out. And now it's like, oh yeah, whatever. I don't know, I'm stunned. And then people may say, oh, well, it might be Republicans with all the money then who are buying up all these stocks. No, that's not true either, because in 2016, when Trump started to technically do some good things for the economy, good things for the market, I remember they were actually beating him up, and we kept dropping and consolidating before exploding. And the average person was like, what's going on? Like, we're getting like great data's coming out, we're getting good updates, we're doing good things, and the market's going down. So I don't want to hear the Republicans have all the money, because the liberals were shorting the market when Trump got in there. So I don't know what's going on. And I find it very hard to believe that 9 out of every 10 people out there are buying right now. Right? I mean, we're continuing to rally to highs. Like, you're telling me no one sells? No one's selling anymore? Like, no one's out here booking profits? We're just looking at profits? I don't know. Maybe it's me. It must be me. Yeah. Yep, I guess so. Like I said, I'll tell you, man, people act like it's no big deal. I mean, the reverse market crash seems real to me. So they're gonna pump the stocks and they'll let everyone make a couple of $1,000. But what people don't realize is it's not a lot of money, and everything else keeps going higher. And the average person, even if they're making money in the market, could barely afford like their rent and their mortgage and electricity and food. So that's what I mean, right? It's like, yeah, the markets are hitting highs, everyone's making money, but your money don't do shit for you, and you're still stuck between a rock and a hard place. Stocks only go up. And if you don't know, now you know. Yeah, could always count on Tesla, could always count on Palantir. That's it. Again, we looked at the lighter volume on Palantir over the last several months, but it doesn't matter. We just consistently keep trailing upward. Just beelining straight up. You guys should go back and look at the tech Look at the tech companies' charts back in 2000 and 2001. Because we also had a beeline, went straight up, got to ridiculous valuations, and then something not so good happened. Yeah, 100%. That's well said, right? If you were not already sitting there with an established portfolio of, oh, I got a couple hundred shares of Apple, right? I got a couple hundred shares of this, a couple thousand shares of that, right? If you didn't have that already, you might be screwed. Like I always said, I know I mentioned like the high-flying trending stocks like the ASTSs and the Palantir. Again, ASTS technically, right, they got back on the time frame, they completed the satellites, they delivered them, right? And then I said, wait for the launch, make sure there's no issues. They launched them, there were no issues. So I'm not saying that the stock shouldn't be up since before all that stuff happened, right? It just shouldn't be up this much. And again, same thing with Palantir. We looked at the numbers before. You know, Palantir was what, like $10, $12 when people were really pumped about it. At $40, the stock is overvalued, right? So that's what I mean. They kept coming out with good numbers. And even if it only went to 40, I mean, that's still freaking 300% growth. And that's what I'm trying to say. It's not that the stock shouldn't be up. It's that a lot of them shouldn't be up this much. After April dip, they kept saying smart money wasn't buying because most didn't vote for Trump. Maybe they're buying in now. Maybe. Yeah, but you're wrong. You missed a rally, then you buy at the top. You don't wait for the next dip. I don't know. I don't know. Again, even looking at some of the names, even like Palantir, again, you can see we're below average volume. Look at the volume. Oh, well, wait, hold on. Right? Look at the volume. You had big volume come in on spikes, and we've slowly, right? Any larger candles were sells. And look at the volume just trickling down. Less and less volume on a higher and higher stock. I don't know. Just not adding up to me. But again, I know people, like, who was it? Somebody said before, right? Oh, it kept climbing, right? I bought some at 100. It might have been too high, but and you're freaking up almost 100%. So take it. Take it and run with it. Yields have not moved. We've been up all day. Stocks continuing to stay up. Dollar still green. Dollar actually, look, just spiked back up. Didn't matter. Stocks holding. Amazing. That's why I laugh sometimes, man. They tell you it's about technicals, so I look at technicals. Doesn't matter. Doesn't work. Look at fundamentals. It might not work. You look at news headlines and try to invest off that. Might not work. And like everyone knows, all the insiders and board members and funds and stuff, those are all the people who really own these companies in size. So as we continue to pump these markets, they're making more and more money, while again, as I said, potentially reverse crashing the market. To where now they're getting to a point where, like, yeah, we'll just keep climbing it, and, you know, average Joe Schmo can make a couple of grand but it's not going to get them far because everything costs an arm and a leg. And that's why I was saying, like, yeah, the Dow could run to 100,000 and all your accounts could be up. But if the dollar is worthless and it costs $20 for a loaf of bread, then it really doesn't matter if your account's up 3 grand. And that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying, in my opinion, we have to crash this market back to earth and bring it back down to reality. Yep. 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 Freaking thing's still a buy. Did a video back here, back in the low 30s, saying I'd take a position in Corning. Good brand name American stock, looked undervalued, pays you a dividend, tuck it away for the long term. Now you collected all these dividends, you're up over 100%. Now we heard, right, every Apple device is going to have Corning glass on it. Shit's easy, man. All you need is patience. All you need is some patience. Freaking mother and son combos in here, make it 6, 7 figures. I got people inviting their parents in here, co-workers, in-laws. Got a wild community in here. I'm in here changing lives. I'm in here changing lives of generations. Like I said, we got mothers, sons, daughters in here, nephews, siblings, little brothers, little sisters. I'm out here changing lives. Oh, baby. Dow should be down 250, not up 250. Nobody cares. Nobody knows the blessing. Nobody knows my sorrow. Yep, 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 yep. Nobody knows the trouble I've seen. Yep, yep. Yep, we're just ignoring that. Yep. Honestly, yields, in my opinion, look like they're ready to pop higher. Uh, Higher yields, what, TLT? That would be TLT puts, right? And I'll bring that back down to 85. Yep. It's going to come right back down there. 85. TLT puts, in my opinion. That's crazy too. We got someone else in the Discord apparently made a good call. Now has like 8 people asking him what he's looking at. It was such a great call. I don't know. How come I don't get that reaction? I don't know. Nobody knows trouble I've seen. Smells good. All I do is win, 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 no matter what. They tanked this market now, dial F. Go back to HGRAF, wouch. Yeah, I'm still hanging out. Still hanging out. Slightly below volume, but again, this volume was like half this number last week, so still technically getting some decent buys coming in. And, we got that tightening. We have that tightening taking place, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously, could break down, not up, but I don't know. It seems like the word is spreading. Seems like there's a lot of people who are pretty pumped about this. A lot of people reading into the graphene, the facility coming online, so people are excited about this one. So, I mean, of course, I'll stay optimistic and I guess assume that we break up and not down for everybody. But again, this is an OTC stock. This is extremely speculative. Please understand the risks involved. Dakashing, darling Dakashing. If you are just joining us, please do me a favor real quick. Like the stream, thumbs up. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's all about the algorithm. Algorithms taking over the planet. We must please our algorithm. I am stepping away for a few minutes. Stretching my legs. I'll be back. Oh, oh, oh. What's going on? People come in here, start talking when I step away. All right. Uh, Hey, happy Friday, Deli. Happy Friday. From the looks of it, long term is just the best option for overall growth. Yeah. Yeah, it's usually how it works. It's usually how it works. And again, I know you recently joined the stream, but this is what I was saying like a year ago, 2 years ago. When looking at these smaller companies, right? Of course, if you have a smaller account, you got to book your big profits when you have them. But a lot of these smaller companies we were looking at, like MBOT at $1, uh, HGRAF down, whatever, 15, 20 cents. Rolls Royce, right? $1, $2, $3. Now it's at 14. The reason why I do it the way I do it when I look at small cap companies like that is because I'm looking for that compounded growth, right? And something like HGRAF, if you were able to get a cost of 15 cents, 20 cents, stock goes up to $1, right? You just compounded your principal 4x. And then if we slowly continue to grow and get positive announcements and we head to the NASDAQ or whatever they want to do, right? If the freaking thing gets up to $7, as I said, if it moves 20, 30 cents a day, you're compounding and making your principal investment daily. So that's why certain stocks I give more attention to. And something like SoundHound, again, right? Now it's back up to 14 or whatever, imagine your cost basis was 2. You know what I mean? That's what it comes down to. They've done the hard part. They have a way of consistently making high quality graphene. Hey Natalie, how's it going? Yeah, 99, whatever they said, 99.5% pristine graphene or whatever. It's the best on the market. It's the closest to flawless you can get, pretty much. That's why it was such a big play. And as I said, it was speculative, but potential game changer. So if these orders, these contracts really do come in all of a sudden, like they said, they did the trials, they put the graphene in biomed sensors, they put the graphene in cement and polyurethane coatings. So they really spread it out across multiple industries. And that's why I'm saying, I'm telling you, if the orders really start flowing in for HGRAF, I don't even know where the stock's going to go. That's how big it could be. SoundHound insane today. Yep. SoundHound came in like 10 mil above estimates. And I remember I said, like, I'd probably give them the benefit of the doubt for the revenue. And you can see the EPS, the losses were widening, but whatever money they're spending seems to be working because they're able to keep growing overall. And you can see here again, estimates were a touch below 33, and they brought in 42.6 million. They also increased their full year guidance a little bit as well. So the stock spiked right up, as you see, essentially to this trend line here, 14 and a quarter. Now we're just kind of hanging out. And we looked before as well. I still have this window open here. We can see on FinViz, according to this, it's saying short float over 30%. So we could potentially, again, we have to get above that trend line here to hit about 15.5, maybe 16 in the next couple of days. And then if we get above that, then we might go back up to like 17, 18. Because 18, I believe, was like the initial mark, if memory serves correct. I think everybody was looking for like a squeeze up to like 16 or 18, and obviously it kept going. But yeah, I think those are the levels you watch. Watch this line here in the 14s. Then you come up here to around the 15, 16. And then if we break, you can see maybe 18. And I remember even like back here, there was someone in the Discord, I don't want to say his name, but there was someone who made a very big chunk of change on SoundHound. Ended up selling like, yeah, I don't know, bought like back here and sold like up here at like 8 something. Made like 300% return. And I remember we were coming down and then we were like hanging out here. And I actually tagged him specifically. And I said, I believe SoundHound is still in play. If I were you, I would retake a position. And you can see, you know, hang out for a couple of months and you're up 50%. With, obviously, more to come. Can't do it for him. You know, I try to get on here, I try to talk about stuff, give my opinion, but can't do it for you. Yields just ticked higher, actually, than where they were before. The dollar is now up 0.2%. Look at this. Dollar spiking straight up, basically, since 130. Stocks haven't moved. That's like here. Very, very interesting. And the oil's back red. When in doubt, buy Palantir. Silver spikes straight back up. We're on the up and up. Late joining today, that's okay. On a bike trip for the weekend. I appreciate the analysis. Thank you. Have an amazing weekend. Awesome. You too. Have a great weekend. Enjoy it. Be safe out there on the trails and stuff, huh? Awesome, awesome. Enjoy your lunch. Enjoy the trip. Stay safe. Get you some of that nice fresh air. A little bit of nature, you know. Go outside, see how nature's doing for a little bit. Hey, sitting here with 17 likes on the stream. Beautiful. Beautiful. Approaching the last 30 minutes. Yeah, so stocks, yeah, climbed up. We had a little bit of a drop, and then we've just retraced and completely flattened out. Yep. Yep, 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 yep. Hey, the truck reversing. What's that mean? Market's gonna reverse right now? Backing them up. Backing them up, dropping them down. The hell, like I was on like a little moped or something. Bada bing, bada boom. Yep. Just hanging out. Of course, if you're just joining us, we had Soundhound had a pretty good day. Soundhound still up over 25%. 13.5. Again, we're looking for the break potentially above the trend line here of about 14.25. And then we could potentially see 16. Short float on Sound, roughly 33%. Okay, we're back up to 135 Canadian. So we come and recheck the American. We're still in the range. Okay. Again, if this triangle, if this pattern comes to fruition, we could potentially see a pop or a big drop coming. I guess they're going to wait till Monday, but we'll see. We'll see if this actually materializes or if this is just happenstance. Perhaps I'm seeing what I'm not really seeing. So, we'll see. Now just seesawing as you see, up, below, up. Just messing around with this moving average. Again, yields have been slowly ticking higher as the dollar has been rebounding lately as well. So, again, in theory, I am very surprised in a lot of green days that we see. Because we really should be red. And that's what I mean. Like we're never red anymore. We're never red anymore. And when the market drops, everyone's like, oh my goodness. And then it only lasts one day, and then everything's fine, and we bounce it right back. It's impossible. That's what I'm trying to say. It's literally borderline impossible. That's what's scaring me. That's what's scaring me. I hope everything you own is up big, and I'm wrong. I really do. Because if I'm right, everyone's screwed. So I actually do hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. Dankeschön. Darling, Dankeschön. Yep. Funny enough, we had Fubo go higher on the prelim numbers than the actual numbers. We had DraftKings beat earnings go up and then go down. We had AMD beat earnings go down and then go up. It is the Wild West out here. Traders are getting burned. I'm telling you right now. I mean, yeah, anyone out there who, yesterday said, oh yeah, SPY calls or whatever. Yeah, obviously they made some money today. But I'm talking in general, especially if you're playing earnings. I was assuming a good report from AMD, and that's exactly what they reported, right? So you would think, common sense, I'll buy some shares, or I'll buy a call or two. And then what happens? They drop the stock. That's what I mean. Completely burn the traders. That's the name of the game. See how the account's doing. All right, we're losing everything. Beautiful. Oh, yeah. Dankeschön. Darling, Dankeschön. Wow, we have no new members joining through this stream. Wow. Don't you guys want to become members so you can get nothing? That is your perk on this channel. You get nothing. I thought more people would be interested in that. See? Say something stupid, hurt my leg. See? That's the universe coming back. Keeping me in check. Picture show. Second balcony. Support you for supporting me. That's the handshake agreement. Hey, my man. What do we always say, right? One hand washes the other. That's how you help me help you. That is our handshake agreement. I appreciate that. First class, my friend, first class. Because unfortunately, it's like 1 out of every 100 of you actually show your appreciation, which is wild. Which is, like I said, after all these years, and I'd say the consistency. I just find that it takes me back. I'm a little taken back by it. Bitcoin back down 1%. You can see we got up right above this trend line, had the rejection, came right back to it. Looks like it couldn't hold it. We're dropping now. Just had big volume come in. El Salvador. Great Bitcoin banks. Oh, excuse me. Fewer than 900,000 individuals now holding 1 Bitcoin or more, highlighting its increasing rarity and financial significance. They're bringing the 401ks into crypto now. My goodness. People still don't trust stocks, and now you're going to put their retirement accounts in cryptos? Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? I have a feeling this does not end well. A crypto CPA shout out. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Should have taken him up on that offer, I guess, huh? Hey, Dilly Bob, Sam. It's a $5. It's a $5 bill. Thank you. Sound. Oh my goodness, just bounced clean back off that. Oh, I thought 13.5. Where did we go? 43. Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 on the way to up. I jinxed it. 10 green candles in a row bouncing right back. Yeah, I have a feeling Soundhound retests this line and tries to get back above it. I really do believe that. Especially, of course, if markets just keep climbing. That always helps. because stocks only go up. That's the mantra here. That's the mantra. And remember also, if you bought a stock at a higher price and now it's down, as I say, unless the company is actually falling apart, you just got to hang out and keep waiting for them to pump the market even more, and eventually they'll bring the stock back up for you. Heavily shorted the last few days. Might continue to see sound push higher as they unwind. Yep. I think so too. I think that was a pretty big float, and I think that people didn't expect them beating revenue by that much, percentage-wise anyway, and also beefing up the bottom end range of that guidance. Again, they said like 160 to like 177 or something, and analysts were expecting like 161, 162. So you're seeing a really nice reaction here with sound, and I do think it keeps going. I agree. The NFTs, oh my goodness. They still around? NFTs. People are out there buying digital stickers or whatever the hell they are. And, yeah, I don't know. They were hot. Now they're not. Dow and NASDAQ holding 200 points. Yield stayed up all day and continued to climb. Dollar, look at this. Dollar freaking flagging, ready to pop up again. I don't know. Like I said, in my opinion, we should be dropping. With silver climbing back up 1/3% now. Gold almost back flat. A little volume pickup here in the last 20-30 minutes. Starting to weaken a little bit, but again, not really. I mean, we're still up a chunk. I just find it wild that we were pulling back yesterday, and like I said, that announcement comes in, and that forces a V and then a pop. I don't buy it. I'm telling you, we should be red. Got less than 20 minutes left. And it just scares me when they like delay the inevitable like this. Because again, everyone's probably sitting here like, oh, we're up today. I guess it wasn't a big deal. We close out the week green, and then like Monday they'll chunk it down like 800 points or something. It's the way it always works, man. The summer wind, it began. Walk with me. B&G still above $4 a share. Let's see how BlackBerry's doing today. BlackBerry. Ah, down again. Interesting. Really, very interesting. They all went to zero. Oh, there you go. Holding a September 4 call. Yeah, well, like we said, I was expecting that slight drop like we spoke about, and they brought it down to those new lows at 360 and freaking bounced it right back up. And it's been holding 4 ever since. So that's why, as rough as some of those fundamentals may have looked, we may be kind of near like the bottom of the bottom. So you may just start to see just a natural little recovery, little U-turn taking place. Got alerts for BB if it goes below. I hope you meant 3.5. And yes, I mentioned that as well. I put that in the Discord. So in my opinion, BlackBerry, starts to approach that 3.5, sub 3.5 mark like that. That's when I'd start stepping in. So we'll see if that one wants to work out. 3.5, good man, good man. Mm-hmm. And we saw this, what? We saw this, well, I mean, yesterday we saw the bounce, but even in general, I've been talking about this like for the last week or two, right? The markets will be up, and then at 3:30 or something randomly, we'll start chunking down. And you see, again, the same thing here. Mostly green, we're on the up and up, we're flat, we're resilient. All of a sudden, we're selling off, and we're dropping down to retest this trend line. They're trying to pull a fast one on you. What do we got here? About 15, less than 15 minutes. Less than 15 minutes. What's today? Friday, so that means tomorrow's Saturday. Do I have any fights on tomorrow? We got any fights on? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We're starting late afternoon tomorrow. Got some UFC, baby. Oh, Andre Touchy-Feely. Eric Anders fighting. All right, all right. Gonna be some good fights tomorrow. Yeah, come back down to that trend line. Yeah, but through all of this, B&G is up 1.5 cents right now. Still, like I said, it's been holding 4 ever since it dropped. It dropped, came right back up, and just been holding. And that's, again, that's like we said, we're looking at that long-term triangle with BlackBerry, right? So we get the alert potentially 350, sub 350, right? Start piecing in. Maybe you can drop whatever, 340, 330, whatever the, near the bottom of that range was. And then boom, you catch that bounce back up. And again, even if you flip it in the short term, if you can get in, 3.5, 335, and then it climbs back up to whatever, 415, 440, bang, in and out, even if you want to secure those quick profits. But like we always say, right? Pricing and timing, right? Pick your spots. Pick your spot. Like, yeah, it looked interesting. It could be a buy, but right, we first looked at it, what, a few days ago? It was at like 380, right? Now we're down 360, approaching 350, right? So you just saved like 10, 12%. You know what I'm saying? Do you know what I'm saying? Everyone knows it's butters. The stonks only go up. If it's not green, then it's not real. Yeah, I mean, we're technically below daily trend lines, but I don't really know if that means anything in this market anyway. Trying to bring it right back down to that line. Yep. Tell me they're going to break it here. Look at this bullshit. Pop the body right back to the trend line. Wild. I tell you, these people are lucky I don't work for the SEC. I'd shut this whole thing down. Being there like Diddy. Shutting the studio down. We are seeing some candle action. Can't even interpret this right now. Really. Really. Man, we are watching some black magic taking place right now. Color's still staying up. Look at this. Channeling ready to go up again. I really don't know how markets stayed up. Yield stayed up all day, all afternoon. You guys watching any big earnings today, or I can end the stream at close? Oh, we're just randomly going to spike back up to the moving average. Yeah, why not? Oh, we got 19 likes. Oh, we're so close to 20. Dow decides to just rage right back to the moving average. Up, we're spiking up. Up, up, up. See, that's another reason why I think it's bullshit. You know, like they'll drop the dollar there on a tick, and they'll spike markets up. But then when the dollar rises, they don't bring markets back down. So like it's only real in one way. Like, it's funny sometimes. It's funny. That's why you just gotta sit here and laugh, laugh and laugh. Unless we see like a huge hard rejection now off this moving average. Makes me laugh. Yep. Stocks only go up. If you don't know, now you know. Don't you want somebody to love? Don't you somebody to love? Yep. Yep. Hey, we hit 20 likes. What? Friday party. It's a YouTube party. It's a streaming party. In case you are just joining us, stocks only go up. I don't know if you missed that headline. Doesn't matter what's happening. We go green. Yields? You kidding? Nobody pays attention to yields anymore. What? Dollar went up? Stock's still going up? That's okay. It doesn't matter. It's alright. It's alright. It's not a big deal. We'll just keep going higher. It's okay. It's okay. Don't read too much into it. We're just going to keep going higher. Don't worry about it. Yep, coming down. But now if we're doing this, right? If we're doing like that, see what I mean? Just see what I mean. Right? Right? You gonna do that, right? Do you know what I mean? Well, we'll see. We'll see if that works out. Yeah, SMCI. Yeah, like I said, last time too, they beat it up. They were talking about, oh, we might get delisted. Stock went down to 17. You know, I'm sure a lot of people out there were like, oh, thank you. I'll buy some. Stock went back up to 60. Actually went right back to like 45, 50, no problem. So even in the short term, you made a phenomenal return. But, yep. Yep. Like I said, the stock went through a 10-for-1 split. With the stock down here at 44 a share, SMCI. You're talking about $440 a share roughly, and the stock was over $1,200 a share before the drama started. Yeah, baby. Dropped it 10 minutes before the close, right back down to the trend line. I'm telling you, I mean, I'm glad everything for the most part is probably green for a lot of you. That is fantastic, of course. I wish, whether we agree or not, I wish you all nothing but the absolute best of luck. But I am telling you, this cannot be sustained. And look at the way silver is now climbing back up. I'm telling you, it's not what it seems on the surface. I'm telling you. Oh, my goodness. Excuse me. But I'm telling you right now, it's just not what it seems on the surface. We got viewers coming in at the close. Is anyone here like watching any specific earnings or anything? Because I didn't really look at the earnings calendar. But we've been watching Soundhound. We've also been watching our HGRAF, of course, which on the Canadian again ended right there 1 1/3. Let's check our American listing on the OTC, right? And we back it up and we can see, yep, we're right near the top end of this range. We're in this potential triangle that's forming, even though, again, we were watching this support trend line, which we technically just broke, but we've completely flattened out, and it looks like we're in this tightening consolidation range here. And I think, in my opinion, obviously, we're either going to see a pop-up or a drop down. I will say, in my opinion, if we do happen to drop down, a lot of people have much, much lower cost bases, so that really shouldn't hurt them too much. But if you happen to not get involved in this one, and we happen to see a break back down into like the 70s and the 60s, then in my opinion, you may want to take a look at it. That's all I have to say about that. And we got VZ right near the top of the range too. Yep. See, we keep going in these triangles. We break. We're in this big triangle. Potentially ready to come back down to the bottom of the range here. Roughly 4160. Even this fib here in the low 42s. So you could grab maybe some 42.5, some 42 puts, and potentially catch that drop down. But of course, it's always dangerous because if markets just pump up to highs, they might just pump every stock across the board. So, you know, it's a little rough to pick plays now sometimes. Oh, baby. Oh, baby, I love you every day. Let's see, I'll check the earnings calendar quick. Oh, yeah, we had a bunch before the open and only a few after. Let's see, how did everyone report here? Now, Wendy's actually beat top and bottom line. Under Armour missed by a cent. That's what destroyed the stock, okay. CGC, oh my goodness, they're still in business? Not too many big names. Looks like they all reported already. Yep. Core Scientific. Wasn't someone talking about this one? Maybe that was something else. Wow. And just consistently missing earnings, so why not pump the stock right back up to where it was, right? Makes me laugh. What was, how's this one looking? What's going on here? Avondale back up. Yep. That's funny. And I said this one, ideally, if I can get in between 6 and 7, I would be a buyer on Avondale, AVDL, and of course you can see now we've beaten earnings and then just beat earnings again. We have Avondale back up here to the high 12s, hitting 13 today. So if you actually watch the video, listen to what I said, could have made 100%. AVDL. Like I say, believe it or not, shit's easy. People just don't listen. That's the problem. See, that's the problem with kids today. Y'all are really going to turn me into the old man. 20 years before I should be. Dark a shame, darling, dark a shame. Thank you for walks down Lover's Lane. Came right back up to trend line. Oh no. But you can see, right? I literally said this yesterday too. I said they were showing us where they want to take rates. I said, so we're coming back down and we should pop and we should stay in this channel and we should technically make higher highs, which is exactly what happened today. Yet stocks continued to climb, which they shouldn't have, but made that call correct. But if we are expecting, right, we're potentially expecting another pop here, in my opinion, on the 20-year. So for all you option traders out there, again, you have a TLT, which is the ETF that tracks that 20-year rate. And you can see that we've been down as the rates go up, right? So this moves inversely. And also looking for this bottom trend line. Yeah, it's close enough, right? So if we like do one of these, right, you can see how we could potentially come down as that rate goes up. So potentially, yeah, I mean you could buy like 87s, of course, if you have the money, 87 puts, but in my opinion, I think TLT slowly pulls back to roughly 85 and a quarter, 85 and a third. Any of you option traders out there? Yeah. Yeah. Just went straight up and hung out. Wild. Wild stuff. Alright. Well, we were on what? Yep. Just hit about that 3-hour mark. So we've been hanging out with each other for a couple of hours. And, you know, I've been trying to give you guys a little bit of time every day. Go live a little bit, hang out, do a little Q&A. You know, try to show you a couple of things I'm seeing, a couple of things I'm looking at. You know, and again, everyone else you guys watch, yeah, try to make it fun. I appreciate that. Remember, everyone else you guys watch, I just feel like it's a cookie cut, like they took the same person, just cookie cutted them, and everyone thinks the same. They all look at the same stocks. I feel like I like to do it a little differently here. Yeah, it is always a good time. I have a good time. You know, I hope you had a good time. I had a good time. Yeah, good times, good times. Yeah. Alright. But it is now Friday, so I will relax. Maybe I'll go outside. It looks like a pretty nice day here. Grab some sun, maybe. But I want to thank everyone for stopping by, hanging out, showing your support, of course. I see you guys, my regulars. I appreciate you guys. I really do. It means a lot to me. But, yeah, maybe I'll see if I can maybe later or tomorrow, maybe I'll do like 1 or 2 regular long form videos. Maybe we'll go over like GT again or something. I don't know. I'll see. But, you know, I'm here in the Discord if you guys want to talk to me, of course. But, again, thanks for stopping by. Happy Friday. Everybody have a good week.